What are you doing right now? I am talking. I am recording this class. You are studying. You are probably sitting. And all of these actions are present continuous tense. My name is Teacher Daniela and welcome to a new lesson of your A1 course. And today's topic is, as I mentioned before, present continuous, okay? This is a verb tense that we use all the times because it's the verb tense that we use to talk about actions that are happening in this specific moment. As you know, as the moment we are speaking, a lot of things are happening right now. I am standing here, I am teaching, you are listening, I am looking at you, you are studying, you are writing. There are many different things happening right now. And this is the present continuous. But I'm going to give you some more examples so you can understand a little bit better. For example, we have here, I am eating ice cream, okay? Probably the speaker has an ice cream and the action is happening right now or as the moment as the speaker is talking. She is reading a book. They are studying English. And I'm going to teach you how we can create these sentences so you can understand a little bit better the present continuous. Okay guys, now we know when are we going to use the present continuous, but now I'm going to teach you how we can create sentences in present continuous that is also called present progressive, okay? So I'm going to teach you with the formula. Let's start with the positive one. We're always going to start with the subject. And as I mentioned before, remember that a subject can be a name, a personal pronoun, it can be an animal, can be a city, a country, anything that you want. Then we're going to continue with the verb to be, am, are, or is. Remember that we need to know, we need to understand who is the subject, who is the person of the sentence, so we know which verb to be we need to use. For example, if I'm talking in the first person, if I'm saying I, I'm going to use am. If I'm using the second person of the singular or all of the plurals, we're going to use are. But if I'm talking about the third person, she, is, or it, I have to use is. Okay, and we continue with the verb, and the verb, we're going to add ing at the end, okay? Every verb, for example, we can say play, it's going to change to playing. We can say sleep, it's going to change to sleeping. And finally, we will have the object of the sentence, the thing that we want to say, the thing that we are going to use to give a little bit more of context to the sentence. And an example here, I am eating breakfast. As you can see, I have the subject, it's the first person in singular, so I'm using the verb to be, in this case, am. Then I have the verb that I already add the ing, eating, and finally the object for the sentence is the breakfast. Now I'm going to continue with the negative form of the present continuous tense. I'm going to start again with the subject, okay? The person sentence is about. It can be a person, an animal, an idea, situation, it can be anything. And we're going to continue with the verb to be, also am, are, or is, depending on the subject of the sentence. In this case, we're going to add the word not to indicate that it's in negative. And finally, we will continue with the verb with ing and the object of the sentence. For example, I can say, she is not watching a movie, or they are not sleeping right now, okay? Situations that are not happening in the moment, we are going to create it with not. But if we want to ask some questions, in this case, the verb to be is going to be used as an auxiliary in the present continuous. For example, I can say, are you going to the mall? Okay, I don't have to add any other word, any other auxiliary, because the verb to be does it itself. But how we can make these questions? In this case, we're going to exchange the position of the subject and the verb to be. We're always going to start with the verb to be, am, are, or is, followed by the subject or the person of the sentence. Then we will have our verb with ing, then the object, and the last part, and the most important one, the question mark that will indicate that it's a question, okay? For example, are you going to the mall? Is she running to the park? Is he studying English? There are many different ways we can use the present continuous. And moving on with the present continuous or the present progressive, I'm going to give you 3 sentences that can be really helpful for you when you are saying these sentences. Remember, I told you the present continuous is about actions that are happening in this moment. So if we use right now, at the moment, or now, it will indicate that the action is happening. For example, I can say, I am talking right now. You are studying at the moment. It's raining now, okay? Those are actions that are happening and we can use it to create the present continuous. Another thing, remember that I mentioned that we have our verbs and we add the ing. For example, if we have a verb like play, we are going to add the ing to create the present continuous form. For example, play will change to playing. But I'm going to give you 2 more examples so you can understand how to change this verb. For example, if we have the verb have, it's going to change to having. When a verb finishes in E, we take the letter and we just add the ing. So have will change to having. But if we have a short verb that has only one sound, for example, like run or like swim, we are going to duplicate the last consonant in the moment that we write. For example, run, it's going to change to running, as you can see, with a double N, okay? These are some tips that can be helpful for you when you are writing in present continuous. Remember to always check our resources and continue practicing.